programmer Phila, and let's write a Leetcode challenge. And today's will solve time-based key stored values problem. And you can go ahead to read through this descriptions if you want. I will be directly jumping straight into the problem explanations. It will be the best understanding by going to the problems. Guys, if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel and like this video if you like. Thank you. Let's straight jump into the problem. So they have given three values. So the first is the timestamps, where we have to initialize the data structure object, and the second the method which they have given, the set method. So in the set method they are passing the three values. The first is key values and the timestamps, and the key they have stored in the key and the values at the given time in the timestamp. And the second method which they have given, the get method, which will return a values and such that set we called previously with the timestamp, and they have given one condition. So if we have a duplicate values on that particular key, so in that case we have to filter the timestamp which is less than or equals to the current timestamp which they have given it. Okay, so we have to find out the nearest the timestamp for that particular key. So if there are multiple such values, it returns the associate with the largest timestamp previous. If there are no values, we have to return empty. Okay, so they have given this input. The first input, if you see, right, they have given timestamp, time map. That means like we have to call one constructor, and that constructor where we are initializing the data structure object. And the second property what they have given is, so these properties are associated with these input as well. Like the set properties, what it will give, the timestamp where they are passing nothing, simply is we are creating a data structure object. And similarly for the set, they have given these values, right? And for get, like these values they have given. So first when we take the timestamp from the 0th index, right? So we just create a data structure object, and then when we go to the first index values, they have given set as an input. So we have to call set method by passing these three values. So how it will look like? So if you see, right, in this index, right, the first index, so we will take the key. So the first property is the timestamp, where we'll call a constructor and initialize that object of data structure. So right now, like, we will be using a hash map. So in the hash map we'll store key, and values would be a hash map, because we have to store multiple map on that particular key. So right now, like, if we get this one, right, so from the first index we need to call set method. So set method will pass three properties as they have mentioned on the set method. The first is key, values, and timestamp. So the key would be our 4, and the timestamp they have given. So we'll creating a hash map. So the hash map would contain, the key would be timestamp which we have it in the input, and the values would be bar for us. Then again we have to, like, again they have called get method. So get methods, we need to find out this 4 as a key in our map. Do we have that key? Yes, we have that key. We got that key. Then they have passed one timestamp, right, as they have mentioned on that method. So the first values would be key, and the second values would be a timestamp. So simply is we got one map, our data structure object, right? So we will pass that timestamp as a key, and we will find out. So we got bar. Okay, so the first input what would be the values what we got, bar. So we are just printing those values where we are making a call to the get method. So here we called a get method, so we just added into our string list. Okay, then again they have given again they have called get method. So in the get method, what they are passing it, 4 as a key and values as a 3 timestamp. So again we will check, do we have 4? Yes, we have. What the values for that 4 by passing these 3. So as of now we don't have, right, 3. So they have given 3 as a timestamp. So as you know, right, in the condition itself they have mentioned it that current timestamp should be greater than or equals to. So it's a greater than, and we found one properties, and the values is a bar. So again we'll insert bar in our list, and again they are calling one set method where they are passing these 3 values. Okay, so again they are passing one more properties. 3 was bar. So what they are passing is 4 as a key, bar as a values, and 4 is a timestamp they are passing it. So what we have, 4 is already there, so we will add in existing key. So 4 would be the key which is timestamp for us, and then bar 2 is our values. Then again they call get method in the 5th index. So we'll call get method, and what they are passing is 4 is they are passing it. So what we will do is we will check 4, we have it. Then they are passing 4 as a timestamp. So we will check in existing hash map, do we have 4? So as per the condition it should be equal or less than. So we found equal value. So simply we'll take that equal values and we'll print this bar 2 in our input result. Then in the 6th index again they are calling get method by passing 4 as a 5. So what they are passing, so they are asking 4 as a key. Again we found the 4 as a key in our data structure object, and we'll check they are passing 5. So we don't have any 5 in the list, so we have to find out the nearest key or nearest timestamp. So we found 4 timestamp, we have it in our map. So simply we'll take the values which is bar 2. So that's all. So this is our final output for this. How we internally is managing is, so we have key, as I said, like we have timestamp as a key, values would be a bar. So since that's perspective, 4 is of only one keys we have it, and we are storing one more hash map as a values. So in the values we have a timestamp as a key, and values would be whatever the values they are passing as an set method. So those we are storing it in our bucket. Hey guys, let's start the problem. So they have given three properties. The first is timestamp, where this is a constructor and where we are initializing our hash map, and the second method they have given set method where they will pass key, values, and timestamp. These 3 values we have to prepare one hash map, and the get method where they will pass key and timestamp. So according that we have to return values. Okay, so let's start. So what we will be doing is, first we have to create a one hash map. So hash map, so it contains 2 properties as we know, right? So the first property is where we have to pass key, and the second property is again we need to create a one more hash map, because where we have to maintain our timestamp and our values, the values which they are given in the set method, right? So we have to store values. Okay, so we have declared it, and now let's initialize that object by using constructor. Okay, so I'm initializing this constructor. Okay, so we are done with the timestamp constructor. Now let's move to the set method. So as for the conditions what they have said, they have given key, values, and timestamp. So we will take those values and we'll prepare one hash map. Okay, so in the first case we have to check the conditions. If it's already contained, if it is not containing any values, so simply is what we have to do is then only is we have to insert. Okay, so we will pass values as well as empty hash map, so we can store the values, and then simply we will, whatever the values they have given, we will store that values in our map. So this is the key as input they have given, then simply will store that values. Okay, so what will be the values for us? Values, and the key would be timestamp which they have given. So we are done with the set method. Then we'll move to the get method. So in the get methods, first we have to check, because we have to return the values, okay, for the particular timestamp and the condition which they have given. So timestamp, the conditions would be the current timestamp would be either equal or from the previous timestamp. So simply we'll write the condition. So what we are doing it, so again we have to check it doesn't contain, so simply is what we have to return, we have to return empty. as per the condition they have mentioned it. If there is no values, simply we have to return empties. Okay, the values present, right? So what we have to do is we have to write a for loop, because the timestamp they have given, so it can be like multiple values for the same keys, right? So we have to filter that should be less than from the timestamp or equals. So those values we have to retrieve. So it should be nearby this timestamp, equals to or greater than, and then simply will decrease that count, because if doesn't if we didn't find immediate after these values, then simply we have to decrease the count, and again we have to check in the same data structure object. If the current timestamp we have it in the map, so simply we have to return the values. Otherwise, again we have to return. Okay, so what we are doing is we can think of making some buckets, right? And for each given key. So then in each buckets, right? So we can store key and values and a particular timestamp, whatever the timestamp they have given it. So because of that get method, right? Because of this get method, so we have to search, right? We have to search for the timestamp for the particular key. So that it wise to place all the timestamp collectively in the group for each day, for each key. Okay, so it is a two-dimension array, like where the first index will represent the key and the second index will represent the timestamp, and the values is stored at that locations. Okay, but instead of using arrays, right, we will use a hashmap, because and arrays can only have integer number and as key and index, right? But the hashmap we have control of key, and it can be either whatever like we want, integer, string, or character, etc., right? And the hashmap will store the given key as a key, and another hashmap as a values, and the inner hashmap will store a timestamp as a key, and the given values as values. Okay, so we will made a buckets for each key, and each bucket will store all the timestamp and values where associated with it. And as I said, the get methods, like the set methods, where we have 3 arguments: key, values, timestamp. So store a values for given key and timestamp, and we need to store the key and timestamp, location, and the key timestamp. Okay, and the get method functions, we have to return a values from the key buckets which has times equal or just less than the given timestamp. So we can iterate all the timestamp, and starting from the timestamp till 1, and check if the value is stored for the current timestamp or not. If stored, we can return it. Otherwise, check for the previous timestamp. If we didn't find, then simply we'll return empty.